Okay, welcome back. In this video, we're going to do dividing rational expressions, is very similar to multiplication. So what do you think the most important thing is here? That's right, factor, factor, factor. Before we do this, just let me remind you of how we multiplied fractions in grade school. If we have 4/3 divided by 2/5, what do? We keep the 4/3, we change the division to multiplication, and then we multiply by the reciprocal. Well, guess what? We're going to do the exact same thing here. So we're going to keep the first one the same, and then we change the division to multiplication, and we flip that fraction. So when we do that, there's nothing that simplifies. That ends up being c to the 6, d to the 6, because we add exponents here. All right, so let's try one that's a little bit more complicated. I'm just going to rewrite it. So I have L squared. Well, let me go ahead and factor it, so I don't have much room. So I'm going to factor that. I get L plus 7, L minus 7. And on the bottom, I get L plus, because it's also the difference of two squares, L minus 6. And then I'm going to change that to multiplication, and then I'm going to flip these, and it's going to be L minus 6 over L plus 7. And we're already seeing nothing, the L minus 6 cancels, the L plus 7 cancels, so I'm left with L minus 7 over L plus 6. So we keep the first one the same, and we change it to a multiplication problem, which we already learned to do in the previous video. So this first one, I keep it the same. Well, if I can write it, sorry, m plus 1, and then I flip it. So 25m squared is going to go on the bottom, and I need to factor m squared plus 2m plus 1. What can I multiply to get 1 and add to get 2 is m plus 1, m plus 1. And then what's going to cancel? So the m plus 1's canceled. Now I can only cancel one of these. I can't cancel both. I can cancel the 25 and the 5, and that's going to make this 5. And m divided by m squared is going to make that m. So I'm left with m plus 1 over 5m. And if you're struggling with that, it's 5m times 5 times 5 times m times m. So the 5's cancels and m cancel, and I was left with 5 over m. 1 over 5m, sorry. Okay, let's do another one. Again, factor, factor, factor. So factoring this, what can I multiply to get negative 6 and add to get negative 1? That would be x minus 3, x plus 2. What can I multiply to get negative 15 and add to get 2? That would be 5 and 3. So x plus 5, x minus 3. Then we flip it. So x squared minus 25 is the difference of two squares. So that's x plus 5, x minus 5. And what can I multiply to get negative 5 and add to get 4? Negative 5 and 1. And once we've done that, then it's easy. It's just to get rid of what's left. So what can I get rid of? Remember, we can still simplify diagonally. So that x plus 5 can simplify with that. Nothing else will cancel out or divide to 1. So we're left with x minus 3, x plus 2 over x plus 1. Okay? So for the next one, we're going to have, what can I multiply to get 1 and add to get 2? We pretty much just had one like that. So that's m plus 1, m plus 1. The GCF here is 10, so we can factor out a 10, and we're left with 10 times m minus 1. We flip the second one, so 20 goes on the top, and then m plus 1. And what can I factor out? And m plus 1. And 10 and 20 becomes 2. So I'm left with 2m plus 1 over m minus 1. Okay, kind of get the picture there? Let me do one more. Let me do this guy in the middle here. He looks interesting. So we're going to factor x squared minus 1. That's the difference of two squares. So I get x plus 1, x minus 1. What can I multiply to get negative 10 and add to get negative 3? X minus 5, x plus 2. No, yeah, that's right. Then times, now remember I got to flip it, so I'm asking what can I multiply to get 4 and add to get 4? Well, that's 2 and 2. Don't forget you flip it. And at the bottom, what can I multiply to get 2 and add to get 3? It's just 2 and 1. And who can we cancel? X plus 1, x plus 2. Those cancel each other, but then I can cancel diagonally here, and I have x minus 1 over x minus 5. All right, so pause the video and do the next 3 and come back when you're done. Okie dokie, welcome back. And we're just going to do these quickly. I'm factoring out a GCF. I'm factoring out a GCF on the bottom. I'm flipping and factoring out a GCF from 2y plus 14. I get 2y plus 7. Y minus 3 go to the bottom. And then what can I cancel? I can cancel y minus 3. I can cancel y minus 7. I can cancel, so that becomes 2 times 2 is 4 over 4. So that's 1. Okay, I can factor this. What can I multiply to get 25, add to get 10? 5 and 5. A squared minus 9 is the difference of two squares, so that's a plus 3, a minus 3. Whoops, what did I do wrong? I forgot to flip. Bad Miss Boulder. All right, so I got to flip this. So a plus 5 goes on the bottom. I'm going to factor out an a here, and I get a minus 3. And then what's going to cancel? A plus 5, a minus 3. Set it? Because I can't cancel both of those a plus 5s, only one. So I am left with, I forgot to change, a plus 5 times a over a plus 3. Okay, and the last one, 6a over a minus 4 times, at the top, what can I multiply to get 28, add to get negative 11? That would be a minus 7, a minus 4. I can factor out an a, and I get a minus 7. And what's going to cancel? The a from here cancels. A minus 7, a minus 4. So I'm left with 6, a nice pretty number. All right, that is multiplying rational expressions. And we've done that is dividing rational expressions, and we've done multiplying rational expression. All right, so tomorrow we add and subtract rational expressions.